Hello. My computer is like crashing right now. My God. There we go. My computer is freaking out. Hey Akil, how's it going? What kind of videos do I make for paid subscribers? I've only actually made one so far, although I have plans to make more. I have one main one right now, which is just like secrets to learn data structures and algorithms really, really quickly. But I have a lot of plans for that in the future. Hey, Gret. I got called Gret a lot by family and friends just because it's a really stupid name. Yeah, that's right. Back off, buddy. I'm terrible at chess. Not sure if any of you guys know. I'm just trying to get less bad. Saw your DSA roadmap short video. Yeah, on AlgoMap about the Coursera part. Oh, the Coursera part. That's a little out of date, to be honest. My AlgoMap thing that I created is a lot better than the Coursera stuff, and the AlgoMap IO is completely free. So I would just learn from that. Hey Greg, how you doing, buddy? Hi, Cool Deep. Doing very well, thank you. What are you up to right now? I'm trying to. I'm supposed to be showing the chat right now in. Oh, here it is. That's okay. That's gonna be. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Okay, this is what I was trying to do. Hold on, folks. 1 second. Um, crop. Not quite. Oh, working with this software is so hard. Why is it? Wait, what? It just said subs. All I can see in the window is it says subscribers only mode. Oh, here we go. Top 245. I'm just trying to figure out how much to crop this. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let's go with that. There we go. Now we can see the chat along with the game, at least a little bit of it. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. So yeah, about the Coursera part, is there an alternative that's for free? Yeah, just learn at algomap.io. It's literally the best thing ever for completely for free. I'd have to say. Aditya just randomly sent me $5 Canadian. That's extremely kind of you. All I'm doing is sitting here playing chess, and I'm just spazzing on the computer. So that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Percy Jackson's here. That's always good to see. Hey, buddy, how's it going? What are you up to right now, man? Stream's current bit rate is lower than recommended. Of course it is. Whatever. What do I do for job, mate? I'm just doing this, man. This is the job. Just playing chess all day. No, I'm just kidding. Hardly working. Of course you're hardly working. It's 6 p.m. for you, isn't it? Why would you be working? Man, this is exactly as distracting as I would expect it to be. Let's go with that. Hopefully he just quits because I'm just not even playing. I'll probably switch this off playing chess and just start answering questions as it builds up. But I've been trying to get better at chess. I'm so bad at it. Ranking's a little better than it used to. I was in like 700, which is completely terrible. But I'm at 863, which is only very bad. It's a common. Oh, thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it. So Sai says, "All right, this is a common insecurity feeling I have. Will data structures and algorithms in Python lead me to a product-based company? Of course I will, because I hear most of them use Java or C++ for DSA. By the way, I'm a Python developer. Well, if you're a Python developer, like, of course you should, man. Like, it would be very silly to like. Python is already probably the best language for it. I know I'm like a Python fanboy, and so I'm like, kind of extremely biased, but also like I've watched the videos of the people that are like the absolute gods on LeetCode that have done like literally every question, and they have said before that like they did like 1,000 problems in C++, way more than I've ever done, and then they like literally realized that like, man, it would be a better use of their time to scrap all that they've done in C++ and then learn Python and then do it all in Python. That's how much better it is than at data structures and algorithms than C++. So it would be kind of silly to just not do that. What I am seeing is maybe in India, it's a little more common for companies to force you to use like Java or C++, but assuming I can't really speak for the Indian job market, but at least for the global job market in general, Python is globally accepted, so it's totally fine. You were solving some 2-pointers. Hey, good idea, man. 2-pointers are good. It's a good number of pointers. Why would you need any more? You'd be very interested to see videos about the more advanced technologies I allude to in some of my solution videos. I'm a great teacher, definitely earned my sub. Well, I appreciate that. Not exactly sure what you're referring to. You'd be very interested to see videos about the more advanced technologies. What does that mean? I really don't know. Okay. Does this work? Can I sacrifice this? So if I bring them over here, obviously... here we go. I'll do the arrows. This is what Levy does. So I bring the arrows in and I bring the bishop in, and then he's, I guess he doesn't have to take. He could dodge, but he's probably going to take. And then I go here, and then he can just retreat, and I really have nothing from there. Oh, I do though, because in the turn after that, I could get mate from the bishop. It's probably not going to work, but let me just do this anyway. Whatever. You're an InfoSec self-taught programmer, mostly in PowerShell. Really? Self-taught programmer, mostly in PowerShell. That is interesting. I have never... you're the first PowerShell developer I have come across, so that is amazing. You learned that hash tables are magic. Yeah, hash tables, when in doubt, hash it out. Honestly, it works pretty well. Hi, first of all, thank you for making videos. I should be pinning these again. Can I do these? Yeah, I should pin it as I go. But that's not even... Yeah, hopefully that helps. There we go. First of all, thank you for making videos. I am good with arrays, stack. SW is... sliding window. Yeah. But struggling from the linked list to graph data structures, could you please help? How did you learn it in the beginning? I'll Honestly, with those types of things, it's really just about rinse and repeat, like the other ones are. With linked lists, it's very hard to do the questions without looking up the answer for the first few, because like something like reverse linked list, which is usually the first question, you could likely come up with the recursive solution, but coming up with the just iterative solution, you definitely might, but you're more likely to come up with it after looking up the solution. So honestly, for those ones, as with most things, just in my opinion, like, don't spend that much time on it. Maybe give it like a good 20 minutes or so, and if you can't, just look up the answer, memorize it, and from there, hopefully you don't have to look up the answer as much for the other ones. With linked lists, there is a few pieces of theory which you might, not know, like looking up how to detect cycles in a linked list. You just might not have seen that algorithm before, and so, look it up. That's fine. There's some really tricky ones with linked lists too. If you go to the hard problems with those, most people are not going to be able to solve those without looking up the answer, and so that's totally okay. Is AlgoMap enough? Because I'm solving a lot more questions on LeetCode. I mean, I think so. I mean, it's 100 questions, which is more than most people have done. It's a very good variety of the different questions that are available. Of course, I can't really guarantee that you just solve the questions on AlgoMap and then you can get every job in the world, but it is pretty much what you would need. In general, those are the different categories that come up, and I'm not, not some crazy person that just made up all those categories myself. That's from the Blind 75. It's from, LeetCode's Top 150. It's from, who name it, whatever roadmap you want, really. I'm just gonna do some sacrifices, by the way. Yeah, AlgoMap's pretty good. I am adding more and more questions to the list side of it. So on the roadmap, it's going to try and stay at 100 questions, but the list side, so I'm adding as many questions as I can, but roughly 100. It should be pretty close to enough. Hello, Greg. Sorry, I shouldn't have it posted. Yeah, that's the problem with pinning these things is I pin them and then I forget that I've pinned them. Hello, Greg. Can I get a job abroad as a backend developer? This is my final year of college, and I want to get a job as soon as I finish my college. Realistically speaking, you may have to wait a bit. Not wait as in do nothing, but be patient. Not sure if you saw Clement's video today, and it's not like he's the only one that knows, but the software job market is not really that good right now, and there's not really a guarantee that it's going to get better because more and more people are studying it. So what did I just do? Okay, I did not mean to do that at all, but that's fine. I'm running out of time. The job market's really not great right now. And so you just have to really cram the data structures stuff. So I've tried to give as much as I can to the community there so that you guys can just learn all of it. You really just do have to power through those questions, learn all of them, build projects that don't suck. Most people build projects that do basically nothing and they're just copies of stuff online and they don't really do much. I would try to make yourself a portfolio that is like actually going to gather people's attention, which is not just some, I'm just going to play super quickly here, which is not just some blog online or using ChatGPT to make something simple. Spend your time to make a really good project on something that's not the purpose of just making a project. Make something you actually care about, make something that interests you, and just write code and, build stuff and deploy stuff that's actually interesting to you. Doing stuff on social media and giving back to the open source community is always a good way to do that. So yeah, but just be patient because the job market is not necessarily very good. Premier says I have, let me do that. I have a FANG security engineering interview coming up. Congrats, that's awesome. And I've never leak coded a day in my life. Am I cooked or am I cooked? I think you're cooked. Honestly, not gonna lie. Between being cooked and cooked, I would have to say you're cooked. Um, how much time do you have? So basically, you can learn this stuff very quickly, and especially in the case of when you have an interview that's very important to you, you can just learn fast by looking up the solutions here. Of course, you would learn stuff better. Yeah, I'm just a timeout. That's gonna happen pretty commonly. Oh, I blundered 3 times too during that. Oh, that's classic me. Gives me a second to actually respond. So especially for people that have like an important interview coming up, they tend to get very just go crazy on the leak code studying in that time and do as much as you can. And if you fail in that time, that can really crush people because it just makes you feel like like you weren't worthy of the job or whatever, and that that you're cooked. But honestly, like it's that you do have to try your best in that time. So give it your absolute all and study as much as you possibly can, and just learn fast, learn dirty. Just look up the solutions, try to remember how the code is done. And you're going to learn pretty quickly, because most people spend a lot of time just kind of just dilly-dallying and not really learning the stuff and just fighting and banging their heads against the wall. And you can do that, but especially if you're short on time, like you have an interview, you should just learn quick and dirty. And so just go on AlgoMap, just try and do it at least 3 questions in each of the sections. That's going to be about like 30 questions or so. If you can do all 100, or at least I'd say around the 50 to 70 level, you generally get a really good feel for this stuff. But honestly, like, don't worry about it if you fail like an interview. You just need to give it the time that it takes to learn this stuff. And companies are asking harder and harder questions these days. I tutor a lot of folks that have FANG interviews. And if you do have one, or any of you listening, you can write a comment, or you can send an email to greg.hog1@outlook.com, and you can ask for my services to help with that. But honestly, everything there is for free on algomap.io. Just learn that as much as you can, and you should be good to go. Kuldeep says, I do data structures and algorithms in JavaScript, and you feel it's fine. You feel language doesn't matter, really. It doesn't. No, it doesn't really matter too much. JavaScript and Python are very similar. JavaScript is obviously better for actual applications. I'd say Python is probably better for data structures and algorithms, but only by a little bit. They're pretty similar. Victor says, hey man, how many FANG/manga interviews you/your students passed last year? I didn't even do this last year, so 0. I meant advanced. I don't know which. Okay, I guess you guys are talking about data structures. Not sure what you mean. Yes. Okay. Deja Phoenix. You meant the advanced techniques like solutions that take O of 1 memory complexity instead of O of n memory. Quote, but they're harder to understand. I probably just said that in like one particular video, that the constant space ones are. I see what you mean. Yeah, so for this one that you're talking about right here, I'll just pin that. So solutions that take O of 1 memory complexity instead of O of n memory, the one that goes to my mind most for that is called majority element, which I actually think today's short was on that one. Majority element, I'll just go to that. Man, this is lagging out my computer, which is a very good computer, so I'm rather confused here. But yeah, basically, I have here in the first section of AlgoMap, where is it? I'm pretty sure. I swear it's here. Majority element. Did I take it away? What? I don't even know my own website. I'm so confused. I think I failed to put it in there. Really? Is majority element not here? Did I put it in the hash map section? Oh, I put it in the hash map section because the brute force solution uses a hash map. Yeah, that makes sense here. So this one is really tricky to get the constant space solution. It looks like this, and while it looks like really elegant code, it's honestly just nasty. So but there's no real tricks to these things. A lot of these you just have to learn. You just have to read the solution, honestly. For something like majority element, they even have like a name for the algorithm, like the brute force. Oh, well, that's one brute force. The main brute force solution is just using a hash map, which is O of n time and O of n space. But the sorting, that's also true. Bit manipulation. I didn't even know you could do bit manipulation for that one. Oh, but it's n log c. Okay. How is there so many solutions to this? Even randomization. The one that I know is number 7. There you go. Called Boyer-Moore voting algorithm. You're not going to come up with the Boyer-Moore voting algorithm yourself. I remember seeing in the comments for this video went kind of viral. It got like over 1 million views or so on YouTube. And so people, like 99% of people were like, wow, I'm never going to come up with that. Actually, almost everybody said, oh, isn't this still O of n? And because they think I'm talking about the time complexity when I say it's O of 1. It's O of n time and O of 1 space. No one's going to come up with the Boyer-Moore voting algorithm. Like, you can just look it up. Try your best with the hash map, fight through it, and then just understand why it works. And that's totally okay. Okay. So it's okay to look for the solution in the beginning and get an idea and do practice for the unfamiliar topics. Yeah, honestly, for most of the sections here, like you want to read the solution. You can feel free to try it on your own and do the brute force solution and whatever comes to your mind, but make sure that you understand the actual the best solution. And so for joules and stones here, it's super important that you learn the best solution moving forward, because if you just solve this the brute force way and you move on, well, firstly, you wouldn't even have used a hash map or hash set, so that would be confusing. But you really want to do this the right way, which is making joules to be a set. And so it just kind of shows you that, like, for any of these problems here, for any of these sections, you want to kind of get a feel for the different things you can do. So if you do the first 4 here, you'll have used 2 hash sets and 2 ransom note. Actually, I think that's just a hash set. So if you do the first like 5 or 6 here, you'll have used both a hash set and a hash map, and then from there, you can go and try to do these on your own. Of course, you should try to do all of them on your own, but especially for the beginning ones, you should definitely understand those good solutions, because that sets you up moving forward. And especially like for the graph stuff, like for example, honestly, like, if you're just to like sit here trying to find if path exists in graph, it's a pretty simple problem if you know graphs, but really hard if you don't. Wow, JavaScript makes that look a lot harder than it actually is. Python is, man, that's actually pretty nasty as well. Why is it so bad? Oh, it's because I'm doing BFS. And, oh, you have to build the graph too, because, yeah, okay, that's fair. But yeah, honestly, like, there's so much different graph theory in the graph section. Like, all of the stuff here, especially anything I have in brackets, is quite literally like just straight up graph theory, like detecting cycles, a topological sort. There's how to create a minimum spanning tree. There's actually a couple algorithms for that. And the last one is Dijkstra's. You shouldn't really spend like forever just trying to solve network delay time. Like, look at the code here. That's the Java. And even this is the Python, which is like the simplest thing you can do here. It's very complicated. There's a lot going on here. You should just learn it. Okay, so please don't feel any fear of just looking up the solution and understanding it. The main thing is walking out saying you understood it. Whether you fought with it for an hour yourself and you understand it from that, or you fought with it for 20 minutes yourself and then you looked up the solution and then you understood it. It doesn't really matter. As long as you walk out knowing that you learned it, then that's totally okay, in my opinion. You're welcome to disagree. What would I suggest to do if one learned DSA from my channel but wants to take it a step further to study advanced data structures and algorithms, stuff like Kruskal's, Dijkstra's, and etc.? Well, that's a frustrating question. Clearly, you're not too familiar with my channel if you want to take it a step further to learn those things, because literally all those things you mentioned, I just talked about on my channel that I have. So go to algomap.io if you want to learn advanced graph algorithms or whatever you want, then it's right there for you. You're welcome, Kuldeep. My thoughts on DSA and Java, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite, but it'll do the trick. Krunal KP says, thank you, you're welcome. So it's okay to look for the solution. Oh, yes. Sorry, I already said that. Yes, it's okay. Codeforces versus LeetCode. I've literally never opened Codeforces, so I don't know. Punk, I know Python at an intermediate level, but haven't done data structures and algorithms before. Will the 100 problems be enough for job interviews? Yes, it is. It is enough. Of course, you can keep going from there, but in general, that is going to set you up. The only section that's currently missing, which will be added probably tomorrow, is bit manipulation. And man, the bit manipulation stuff is so ridiculously hard. Like being able to figure out just how that you'd use it. It seems like most of the time you use a bitwise XOR. It just seems to be very useful. But yeah, these 10 sections here, arrays and strings, you need that for all that stuff. Hash maps and sets, they optimize a lot of this stuff. Two pointers is a clever algorithm that occasionally comes up. And again, all of the stuff here, these are easily the most common interview patterns. And all of these have at least 5 questions here that are going to help you out. So in general, yes, AlgoMap is... I wouldn't have made it that if it wasn't enough. Like I commonly get the question of like, is this enough? I mean, you can always do more, but in general, it's designed to do exactly what it's set out to do, which is a roadmap to master data structures and algorithms. Okay. Yeah, no problem. As a X. Kishan Patel says, thanks. Thoughts on pursuing new undergrad data science roles? I mean, go for it. I don't know. Sure. Addiction Addict. Hey, appreciate the resource you're putting out there. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Krunal KP says, I am in New York, currently working as a data analyst in MTA. Is that a company? Is that Manhattan something? I don't know. Cool. That's awesome. Looking for a full job. Do you think it's okay to just only focus on DSA? I'm not learning front-end tech due to lack of time. Well, no, you kind of have to do both. So the data structures and algorithm stuff is its own beast, which they ask in interview questions, but you're not going to get the interview unless you have the skills that they're looking for. And they may or may not ask you some of those more complicated skills in the interview, like if it's React or if it's machine learning or whatever. They probably will ask some of those questions, but they'll definitely almost certainly ask the data structures and algorithm stuff. You do have to do a mix of both. I know it's hard. I know that, even doing this roadmap, just 100 questions, learning it properly, roughly say 20 to 30 minutes per question, that's going to work out to be several tens of hours. So I get it. It's a lot of time. But say that it's 50 hours here, and I'm not going to give a number of what it actually should take because everyone should do their own speed. But say that it took 50 hours to do this. That's not that bad, right? Like that's like 1 hour a day for 50 days, or that's 2 hours a day for 25 days. It's really not that bad. And then you have to do all that other stuff like React or whatever. You should do that as well. Saran Kumar says, I've started learning DSA and Java. I have campus placements 6 months from now. Do I have enough time? Yeah, you just got to use your time. First, I started learning DSA in Python, but my uni forced us to do it in Java or C++. So that's what's happening. Okay, so I guess that's why the Indian folks are saying you got to use Java or C++. People are just forcing you to switch over. Yeah, that's fair. You do have enough time, though. 6 months is definitely enough time. You just got to use your time. What do we got here? Kushal Dakol. Sorry, I need to say that again because I almost certainly butchered that. Kushal Dakal says, I'm planning to change my career from software developer to AI. Is that a good for the future? So firstly, I would say to keep your job because the job market's not very good. But to upgrade that, of course, it's good to learn new skills and to switch jobs if that's something that you want to do. Machine learning and deep learning is going to continue to grow, and there's no problem with that. Like all software, it's going to continue to get automated, and there's no guarantee about the amount of jobs that are available. But of course, they're always going to be pushing the bounds there. So at companies like Tesla, OpenAI, Google, there will always be jobs where people are very good at AI, but that is very good. So that means like PhD level. On the average machine learning developer, yeah, that's just kind of turning into normal developers. Saren says, I'm learning Java. Yeah, fair enough. I get it. Okay, Krunel says, in USA, I applied for hundreds of jobs, but no luck for the interview. Don't worry, that's extremely common. Resume score 99 for the ATS pass. Do I think referral matters? Yeah, it does help, but it also doesn't guarantee anything. I've done referrals and got nowhere with it. What would be your best advice for getting the full-time ASAP? Yeah, I get getting the full-time ASAP is a priority. You just have to keep throwing numbers out. And honestly, hundreds of jobs, I know you're just saying a number, but you just need to really send them out. It's just a bad market right now, man. Like, I don't really know what to say. There's no secret trick to like just get an interview. It really is a numbers game. You can do so many different things, but in general, it's just, volume. Like, just really send them out. Addiction Addict, nice name. It is in there. I don't know what you talk about. Akil Kulkarni says, what type of questions of leak code difficulty should I expect for a high school coding internship? Generally, it would be the stuff in the AlgoMap section. That's going to be in the first 3 sections here. So it's going to be stuff largely in the arrays and strings section because it's just a data structure that everybody knows. Hash maps and hash sets, they may ask. It depends on the place. And 2 pointers is just kind of a particular algorithm that's very similar to the arrays and strings section. From there, probably not a stat question, but they might. Anything lower, I would be pretty surprised. But who knows? It's getting harder and harder these days. Amin Keller says, someone suggested this channel to help me learn data science, but it almost seems like you're more computer science focused. And if so, where would your strengths be? Well, just look at the playlist, man. Like, I can't do everything all at once. I've done data science, I've done machine learning, I've done coding interviews, data structures, general advice. Like, just look at the videos, and that's the history of what I've done. So, I most definitely it would be helpful for data science. It doesn't matter what I'm posting right now. It's all about what's already there. So you can just look. William Land says, hey, I'm a junior in college majoring in software engineering. Okay. I'm looking to get an internship next summer. Do I know how many problems along with difficulty problems I should achieve? Roughly, as long as you do about 50 to 60 or 70 problems or whatever, that's about when I say would you get a really good feel for it. In general, I would definitely just refer you to AlgoMap.io and do the 100 questions there because that's pretty much the list. Yugong Kalia says, as someone who's pursuing a post-grad in artificial intelligence, is it recommended to study DSA as well? Only if you care about getting a job. If you don't, then no. It's pretty much a silly thing for interviews. You could make an argument that it makes you a better coder and it makes you think and solve problems better and that it makes you more optimized and you learn the language. Sure. All of those are sure. But in general, it's kind of a waste of time unless you're going into the market. So if you're going into the job market, do it. If you're not, then don't. Sebastian Alcalde, do you think it's very important to redo the question with another language? No, I think it's extremely important to not do that. Okay, seriously, like, do not make that mistake of like solving each problem in like 2 or 3 languages to like really learn it. It's such a waste of time. Just pick a language for data structures and algorithms. It doesn't have to be the same core language as what your actual language is. For most people in practice, people use JavaScript or Java. Those are the 2 main ones for like in practice. Sometimes it's Python, especially for data science and machine learning. C++ for performance critical or older applications. But in general, people are going to be using JavaScript or Java. And those are fine for data structures and algorithms. You can use those. But most people, I would suggest you just pick one language, probably Python for this, because it is the easiest. Addiction Addict is back at it and said, is it normal to run the code a bunch of times before solving it? No. So in a real, yes, but in a real interview, do you need to get to the point of run once? So often in interviews, very common actually, you won't even have a place to run your code. You might be able to run it, but there might not be like a list of test cases. You might have to generate your own test cases and ensure that they're correct. It might be a notepad-like thing, probably called CoderPad, and yeah, you actually might not even be able to run it, and they might not want you to run it. You just have to check it yourself. Old school sometimes, but it's getting increasingly rare to whiteboard your solution and draw it out and write it out. But yeah, it's actually interesting because Elite Code is generally how we prepare for those interviews, but it is slightly different in practice because they don't always get you to kind of submit it in the same way there. And no problem for answering the question, Punk. Love the name. Include Josephus problem. I have no idea what that is. Josephus? Find the winner of the circular game. Oh boy. Oh, it's actually asked by pretty commonly. Okay, I can probably try to do that at some point. I'll remember that. Prefix sum is not included in this. Correct. Prefix sum is not quite common enough for me to put this in there, but I should actually add a question or two in the all list. Kushal has solved almost 700 problems in Elite Code, still mess up like with technique. Really? 700. Wow, that's a lot. That's more than double what I've solved. So can I please make a video with algorithm and go with Elite Code problems? What are you saying, man? Can I make a video with for Elite Code problems? I have a lot of those. FYI, MTA is Metropolitan Transportation Authority of New York City Transit. That makes sense. Kuldeep says, mind telling us what Clemens video? Clemens video you're talking about the job market. Clement. So let me let's just watch this a little bit together here. Also, I changed this a little bit. Not sure if you like it or dislike it. Doesn't matter to me. JK. So basically this, yeah. Honest thoughts on the software engineering market in 2024. I'm not going to watch it. But basically, yeah, the thumbnail, it's over. A tad dramatic. This is funny how the related search is Clement Algo Expert Girlfriend. He had some funny things with that. But yeah, basically he's just saying that the job market is not very good. And it's pretty true. It's Bear said, how long should I try a problem before looking at the solution? In my opinion, the golden amount is about 15 to 20 minutes. If you feel like you're getting closer, you can keep getting closer, but definitely don't spend more than 45 minutes by yourself. It's just a waste of time at that point, and you're better off looking up the solution. Krunel says, thank you for the career and learning advice. Love the content. Bye. See you again. I'm sure you already left, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. Or day. If you're in India, it's going to be day, but I can't tell. How would I compare this algo map to the NEET code 150 blind 75 / is there a 169 list? How did I get to this 100 question list? It's like the blind 75, but a little bit more. It's very blind 75 has some stupid questions, like one about cars that makes absolutely no sense. And yeah, I basically took most of the blind 75 and the Elite Code top 150. I threw it into this, and just some of my own favorites. Pretty much is what this is. It's my own honest opinion of what companies are mostly asking. Of course, it doesn't cover absolutely everything. There's 3,000 questions on Elite Code, and so this is, only 100 of those. But it is pretty good. Mohammed says, is mastering data structures and algorithms a must for a career in data science? It's strongly recommended because it may or may not come up in any interview. Honestly, they're asking them more and more just because they're a very BS way of like just screening out candidates, and that with the competitive market, like they have a lot of candidates to screen out, and so they're just kind of using that as a way to see who can get through and who's really mastered the way and maybe got a little bit lucky for the data structures questions. So data science may ask it, they may not, but it's better to be assuming that they will. And it's my opinion that they will be asking them more and more, because as more and more people study these things, there's going to be more and more candidates to screen out. And so they're going to keep asking them because they can just keep making the questions harder and harder. And it looks like they will. Akil says, I just want to thank you for your channel and website. I've grown tremendously in programming because of it. That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear it. And thank you so much for saying that. Brian says, do I plan to add company-specific paths to AlgoMap? No, it's valuable for every single job that involves coding. Pretty much all of them may ask a question like this. Even something kind of like a weirder company like Tesla, for their software engineers, they still kind of ask some of these questions. I bet Elon doesn't even know about it because he probably wouldn't be happy if they did ask those things, because that's not really what he'd like to ask. But not that I know him personally, I just follow him a lot. It's this website is good for everything. Ace Byte says, I'm a legend and an awesome content creator. Thank you for everything. No problem, man. I really happy to do stuff for the community, and you guys bring me stuff back, so I really appreciate it. Hacker Ranks online assessments have been killing me. Some seriously hard problems. Yeah, well, companies are asking hard problems these days, so I get that. Kuldeep is leaving. Yes, have a great day. Lokesh, is it necessary to do graph and DP if we're not targeting Fang? Yes, it still is. I highly recommend that you do. Maybe a little bit less emphasis on weighted graphs, I would say. Those are kind of advanced problems, but for the most part, dynamic programming, a lot of companies will definitely still ask those because it's still just array-based optimization problems, which are very common. Graphs, maybe easier graph questions, like some of the basic island questions, like the matrix ones. And as long as you can do DFS and BFS and maybe detect cycles, then probably okay. How much would I recommend to buy LeetCode Premium? I don't know, 0. I use it, but that's because I am a content creator and I use LeetCode a lot for checking solutions and just constantly running it. For a user, you don't really need it. All 100 questions on AlgoMap are without LeetCode Premium, and you can do it literally all for free. Like, this website's free, LeetCode is free, the videos are free, so you don't really need it. All you can see is Indians. Yeah, it's kind of like Indian time right now, 9:40 p.m. This is EST because I'm in Toronto. The Indian folks are waking up, so it's a good time for them. System design and behavioral sections for AlgoMap, probably in the works. Yeah, I'll probably add that at some point. What was my strategy when I first started learning, and how do you know you're starting to grasp a concept first just memorizing? Well, firstly, if you've truly memorized, if you've really understood it, then you have memorized it. Like, honestly, if you've understood a concept, it means that you understand it so well that it's in your brain and you're able to repeat it. And memorizing is just a very silly thing to me. Like, the only thing that I could see bad about memorizing is memorizing code. Like, you don't want to stare at code for 5 minutes, remember the line numbers and where the code is, and then how to replicate it. And that's almost impossible anyway. So honestly, you know that you've understood something if you've learned it one day and you can wait an hour and then do it again. You might need to keep doing that a few times until it really bakes in there, and you can understand stuff like depth first search and trees, and like in order versus post order, pre-order traversal. You can get better and better at those the more you do them, and just the different ways of kind of working with those tree problems in particular. You'll get better and better those as you keep solving them. But in general, if you remember how to do it, like especially the next day, if you did something today and you can remember how to do it tomorrow, that's when you know you've like understood it and not just memorized like the code or something. This is sparkling water, by the way. Nothing too interesting. Any course for understanding the approaches? Just just watch the solutions on AlgoMap. How much do I think does becoming a grandmaster on Kaggle increase someone's probability of landing a job in data science? Drastically. It is a very good idea if that's something you're trying to do, especially making content about how you're getting those solutions, and teaching people how to do that is going to drastically help. Yeah. I've hit the end of the comments, so it seems. So I think it's time to play a little chess again. Why not? Phoenix, hey, that's a good tier. See, you guys got to do what Deja Phoenix is doing here. I really appreciate. Thank you. That one really, it's named that for a reason. It really does help. So thank you so much for doing that. Happy to take a slight break from the talking. The lead code is absolutely worth it. Like 100%. It feels like such a mountain to climb at the beginning. Like you just don't know any of it. It looks so daunting. You don't know what to do. But the trick is just finding a roadmap that works and that's free, which is why I designed AlgoMap. It feels like a fun game once you get into it. You just start grinding it. It feels like a real mission, and you can see the progress, and you can feel yourself getting better. Oh, thank God that pawn's there, man. And how often do I play chess? I wish I didn't have to answer that question. I mean, of course I don't, but I feel the obligation to, and unfortunately it's way more common than it looks like. Because I'm at rating 856, which means that I'm completely terrible. And I play, I don't know, 5-6 games a day, I would say, so something like that. I was out of it for a while. I was playing, actually, I guess I was playing just normal Xbox games for a while. I'm also learning French just for fun, so that was taking away my time on Duolingo. But no ranking shame here. That's good because I don't got a lot of ranking and not a whole lot of points here. I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. When you saw my shorts approach simple and effective, but when you try to do, you just overcomplicate things. This is why you really gotta just watch the solutions, understand those techniques. There's so many different ways to solve these problems, and there is many, many better ways rather than the worst ways. And so you really want to just learn it the right way. And so even if you solve it yourself, and that's totally fine, but especially the problem that comes to my mind is the one, the linked list question of merge two sorted lists. So this one right here, there is a way to do it. where you basically have this if statement logic twice. So it would be like this out here for the head, and it would also be in the while loop. That's how like a rookie might write it. And then once you might not even know this thing exists, but if you read and watch the solution on AlgoMap, you'll see that you would create a dummy node, and then that's a very common pattern. So it's something that you'll use over and over again, where basically if you have weird logic at the beginning, which is pretty common. So for the head of the linked list, if your logic gets a little annoying, like you have to compare values or something, you can often just use a dummy node, and then you can kind of just forget that problem even exists and just kind of do it how you normally would. So trust me, watch the solutions here, especially if you find that your code is overcomplicated and you feel like there's a better way. Learn the better way and force yourself to start doing those better ways, because without it, it's going to be a real headache. Thank you again, Deja Phoenix. That seriously means the world to me. And yeah, if you guys want some exclusive perks as well as just donating to the channel, I really do appreciate it. You can click that membership button, but no pressure at all. It doesn't bother me at all. Do I think coding and chess are similar? I hope not, because I feel like I'm pretty good at coding, and I feel like I'm really bad at chess. So while it's such a common thing, like, Bill Gates popularized that idea of like, the super nerd, like he's playing chess, he's in the chess club, he's, not getting the girls, but then he's worth billions of dollars, and then of course he could get any girl he wants. I don't see that many similarities. I'm sure many people would disagree, but I feel like I understand coding very well, especially, like, it's quite true actually. After the data structures and algorithm stuff, I feel like I understood like the base programming stuff, like recursion and like how local variables work, and just fundamental concepts like DFS or whatever. I feel like I understand them very, very well. And chess, it's supposed to feel like an intuition based thing. Like you just, you don't necessarily have to like well, of course you need to know the rules, but like read books on chess. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can just start to get a feel on the intuition and how to plan things. And I just don't get it. Like, that's why I'm here. Like, I'm just like right now, I just wanted to play chess like in my room, but I'm like, hey, let's just have a chat with you guys. I can answer questions. Along the way, maybe make a few extra dollars, but that doesn't really matter to me. I'm not good at chess. I'm really not. As you can see, I have no idea how to proceed from here. Does this help? He's probably just going to do that. Whatever, we'll do it. Just a random question, which library or framework is good for production in Python? That would be Django, buddy. That is, your answer is definitely Django. Assuming you're talking about web development. Well, why can't I just do that? Why RRHH? I don't know what that means. Seems to be humans without resources. In most companies, they ask 2 to 4 of experience for an entry level. That's completely absurd. Yeah, you'll have to tell me what RRHH means. It's acronyms bug me so much, but especially like in chat or whatever, like I see so many different acronyms come up in chat. I'm like, I have to really think about it. Like, sliding window is SW. I've never heard like sliding window be abbreviated to as SW. Of course, that's what the acronym would be, but it just sounds like software, or short for software engineering or something like that. So just write the word. RRHH is human resource. Why would that be human resources? RR what? That's HR. What do you is there no, there's got to be an actual acronym for it. Like there's no way it's just human resources. RRHH. Human resource management. Why is it that? This is the dumbest acronym I've ever seen. Human resource management. It's not even like an acronym. It's not even the same letters for the word. Like there's literally no M in there. Where's the second R coming from? Like in what? Okay, let's call that HR. So why is human resources humans without resources? I'm not gonna shit on human resources. That doesn't seem necessary. I don't plan on doing that. Have you faced a coding interview where they let you build a heap data structure from scratch? So let's phrase it more so of like I talk to a ton of people that do these interviews. And so that's more valuable than just the interviews that I've done. It's more about the many people that I work with every year. Not every year, literally just this year. And so no one's ever brought that up to me about not being able to, or about having to build a heap. I don't know why you're phrasing it as why they let you build a heap. You would never, of course they would always let you build a heap. But if you mean force you to build a heap, that's extremely unlikely. They'd probably just let you import it, or even just kind of fake import it. Like if you just had, had one basically, even if you don't. Don't worry about heaps. Like that, do the heap questions, but like you'll never actually have to you probably will never have to do a heap from scratch in an interview. That would be absurd. And companies, they don't like to waste time. Like they just want to do things and get through the interviews as quickly as possible. And so they're not going to sit there and watch you build a heap. They really don't care. What was that? Well, that's obviously not the right. Oh, but that was what he had to do. Wait, I didn't know I had mate. So he just had to take with the queen. Oh, he's just. Oh, I'm realizing this game. I'm walking through it. What is he doing? I take with the queen, and then he just moves instead of taking the queen? What? See, this tells you, this is how bad I am at chess. I lose to people like this. I lose to Ashraf, who chooses not to take the queen for whatever reason. The pawn can't take because... Oh! No, I'm good. Oh, see, this is what... Thank you. You're right, Ben. Good point. And Mohammed. See, you guys don't suck at chess as much as I do. Yeah, we got that pin right there. So how did that work out? How did it... It looks like I planned that because that bishop's been there for so long. But now we just go in. I mean, obviously he should have taken that. But here, yeah, I mean, he's just really stupid. Obviously you should take that. Okay, anyways, let's finish that off. Checkmate. This king fell over. Yeah, and I blundered in it. Of course I did. Let's see my blunder. What is she saying? The engine did not like that one. Wanted me to move the white pawn up. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that would be better. But then, the engine hated that move of his. Move that forward too. I go here. I'm almost guaranteed to win. I screw up here by not putting the pawn forward because I guess that pin... Yeah, because I could have just taken that knight for free, I guess. Oh, boy. Okay, he did something good for once. I move back. Yep. Then the engine freaks out when he does that because it's not guarding the pawn. Take the pawn. That does not deserve a blue. Okay, that's not a great move. That is an obvious move, but thank you. He goes here. I go here. Obviously, you should take, and then it's full guaranteed because I go here, and then okay, yeah, makes sense. 800 Evo is better than 70% of people. Is that actually true? Chess Evo distribution. Wait. Oh, that's for Blitz though. 64 percentage of players below this rating. 64%. 64% are below 800. 73%. So I'm in the top 36%, almost top 27%. Really? Man, people suck at chess even more than I do. I'm like really bad. So to get into the top 10%, you just have to break 1200. I can get 1200. I've like fought my way at when the thing put me at like 1000 or so, like I was doing fine. So okay, well let's actually, yeah, this is good. Let's play. Nah, I should probably go to bed. I'd like to do this more often though. Okay. So let me see if my OBS thing is still making this look good. Do you guys like this setup here? I got me on the left. Oh, I'm not even freaking in the frame. Not that you guys really care to see me. I got some blurry chat going up because it's really stretched, but it looks like it at least showed up. And the window, yeah, it looks good. Okay, I like this setup. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. So I will say just one more time here. So thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for a couple of you that became paid members. If you do want to support the channel, it's really cheap. It's just, it's just like $1 or $4 or a few dollars a month, whatever you want to do. Deja Phoenix was extremely nice and did I think it's the $8 a month option, which is a lot higher. So thank you guys so much. If you do want to support the channel and you like what I'm doing on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever, seriously, a small monthly subscription or membership does extremely help. It actually helps a lot. So I'd really, really appreciate it if you could do that. If you do that, it means that you get priority response to comments in chat, of course, but right now chat wasn't too high because I streamed at a weird time. Sometimes it can be a lot more, and I don't get to everybody, especially on Instagram. It can be really bad. Yeah, you get the members only video that I have, and I'm going to be making more of those. And most importantly, it gives you priority response in comments. So in my YouTube comments, across all platforms, like I probably get like 1,000+ comments a day. There's just no way that I'm gonna be able to respond to most of those. I've tried, I just can't. So if you want to get my attention totally for free, other than a small monthly subscription, just get the membership option right now if you want. And then when you write comments and you have questions, I'll actually respond to those. Because what I do is nowadays, I actually only respond to YouTube comments that are from members on YouTube. Otherwise, I just don't have the time. And it's very hard to fish through them because so much of them are actually just people just, being mean or whatever anyway. So I don't even really like to look that much. So if you do want to do that, the link is in the description of this chat, this live stream. You can just become a member. And then I'll be able to respond to your comments a lot quicker. And it just looks cool when you're in the chat. As you can see, Deja Phoenix clearly sticks out here. If you don't want to do that though, that's totally fine. I completely understand, and we're all fighting our own way through life, right? We're all doing our own thing, and if you can't help out financially right now, or if you don't want to, then that's totally fine by you. Most importantly, thank you guys so much if you're listening. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try and do more live streams like this. It's just a nice way to wind down in the evening, play some games, give you guys some hopefully motivation and help. I know, actually, I do apologize if it's ever demotivating when I say that the market's bad. I know it's not helpful to say that the market's bad, but I don't want to lie. The market is a little tricky right now, and so you just have to outwork people, right? You just keep outworking them. That's what I do. Like even here, it's like 10 p.m. here. This is still kind of work for me. Like I'm still, um, it's not as like relaxing as it could be. I could be lying down, which I'm about to do. So just use your time wisely. Keep your head up. I know mental struggles and battles hit everybody. Financial battles hit everybody, at least most people. And you just got to keep fighting through. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you hopefully again tomorrow. I'll try to be there. And yeah, have a good day, folks that are in India for the most part, or anyone on that side of the world. And for the folks that are on my side of the world, like probably Ben if I had to guess, but not guaranteed. Have a good night. So, okay. Bye, guys. Let me see.